We were pretty famous back in high school.
Trust us. Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. It's gonna be... I'm told a doozy. I've been promised a doozy. Where's my doozy? Matt, where's my doozy? Please give me my doozy. You said, hey, this is going to be a doozy. And it's, I could tell you, this was not to everyone. This was just to me. So I could tell this wasn't like a ruse. Like, you're like, hey, just so you know, before we start recording, this is going to be what I classify as a doozy. And so I'm waiting here for this doozy.
A doozy is what I call taking a dump.
Oh.
Also known as a twozy. Gonna take a wicked two sometimes.
I don't often exclusively take a twozy. It's usually a onesie twosie. I mean, really, you're doing...
I mean, if you take a twosie, you're going to take a onesie.
You're going to take a onesie while you're there. You're like, why would I get up and then use a different, apparatus?
Yeah. A doozy and an oozy.
To expel my onesie. Now, an oozy is something else.
I mean...
It's just... It's expelled out of the same orifice that a onesie is, but it's not the same. It's not the same material that's ejected.
Explain in vivid detail.
An oozy.
Get specific.
Well,
show your work.
Oh man, it doesn't take a lot of work. It's pretty basic.
Ladies,
it's pretty easy to get an oozy out of me.
What if it's an oozy toozy?
That has yet to happen. So I guess I don't know if that would be a good or a bad thing. That would probably all depend on who's participating with you. As to whether or not that's considered disgusting or arousing.
So it'd have to be an oozy in your doozy that then will oozy out your toozy.
What's my doozy?
If I have to tell you.
You kind of do. I was following you on most of this, but the doozy is not like an obvious... Although I thought oozy was self-explanatory, but you clearly didn't seem to know what that was.
Your doozy is your butt.
Ah, the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So is it so specifically you're referring to the doozy hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait a minute. Someone has to oozy in the doozy hole in order to then cause you to produce a toozy?
An oozy toozy.
An oozy toozy? Sounds like Ruby Tuesday or something.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat there.
Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not if that's the kind of stuff they serve.
Not after an oozy.
Yeah, especially if they have the...
Free oozy.
The 10%
maybe I will dine.
Automatic gratuity added.
Yeah. If it's before an oozy... I'll dine in. If it's an after oozy or an oozy, I'm dining out.
You're eating out is what you're saying.
Well,
I would want to do that before the...
You want to eat out first?
Oozy or the toozy, yeah. Eat out before that. Yeah.
Well...
It's weird because
I'd rather eat out after the toozy, but then after a shoozy or a shower as well.
So wait a minute. Is the toozy part of the whole act, or is that just
no? That
Okay.
is, pre-act.
Get
that toozy out of the way.
Sure, you don't want to have an accidental toozy mid.
Yeah, then do have get a wipe down.
Yeah,
have have it busted and cleaned and set up for the next dinner party.
Just bust, not busted.
Yeah. Well,
they don't bust the tables; they bust them.
Yeah, have it busted. Bust.
No, bust.
Have it bust.
Yeah. Busted is something else. That's the Uzi.
Get the essay in there to clean up the table, and then sounds like a racist term, right?
It does. I was wondering what you meant by that.
I found this out in the weirdest way. It stands for server assistant. It's SA, not SA.
Gotcha.
Because I found this out when I noticed a bunch of Mexican people being referred to as essays at a restaurant.
And you're like, whoa.
And I'm like, whoa, that's kind of messed up. And they're like, no, server's assistant. I'm like, oh, SA. Got it.
I wouldn't necessarily.
So much sense.
I think I would say saying that finding that out in the weirdest way is a little bit of a stretch. The weirdest way possible.
Okay. Well, I found it out. I found it out in a way where I was like, whoa, that's messed up. And then, yeah, I guess the weirdest way would, I don't even know what the weirdest way would be then in that sense.
In the middle, in the middle of an Uzi Toozy.
Yeah.
Then you find out. Your partner says, oh, by the way, they're called server assistants.
Yeah.
Oh, that really ruined it.
Well, they can come and bust it down sexual style. And then
so you have people come and do that.
Well, I mean, depends on if you're on a set.
Yes.
You might have people that would do that.
If you are on a set, there probably would be people waiting off camera to swoop in
the wings.
Yeah, swoop in. Well, that's for the play. That's on stage. Yeah. That's not a movie set. But
still a set.
But it's
stage set. Might be a live performance.
Yeah, but we're talking
all porn is a live performance initially.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the of course it is. Yeah, no one's. Yeah. But the waiting in the wings is where you're just standing off behind the curtain, just off to the side of each side of the stage.
Yeah,
during a play performance or a stage performance,
with your towels and your wet naps.
Yeah,
your condoms.
There's
always a stand-in waiting, just hoping something goes wrong, so they can
the understudy. The understudy. What was the not to be too on the nose with it, but what was wasn't that in basketball or something? What was that thing? Or was that the Kevin Smith movie where they had like a stunt cock or whatever?
Oh, I think you're thinking of the movie Orgasmo.
Oh, maybe that's it. That's the South Park guys did that, right?
Yeah. Because he wouldn't, because he was I think he was playing a Mormon and he was doing porn to raise money for.
So he wouldn't do any. He wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't do any of the actual
scenes.
So they brought in the stunt cock to do it for him.
Yeah,
I don't know why that. I'm surprised I remember that. That just popped in my head. But wow, I forgot that movie even existed.
Yeah, I did too until you started talking adjacent to it, and then it popped into my head.
Well, look at us.
This was a weird way to start an episode.
Look at us popping
hello
all over each other. Hi.
Welcome to High School Famous.
That is what this is.
Apparently.
Today, class, turn your textbooks to page 185.
Yeah, I think this is sex ed.
We're going to talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk. Oh, no?
There is no you and me.
That's the lyrics. Those are the lyrics of the songs. Those are the lyrics.
Yeah.
Well,
I was talking about you and the listeners.
Yes, I was speaking to the listeners, not to you.
Gotcha.
No. I want to, get
Sometimes
down with.
We're not talking to each other.
Never. I want to get down with every listener.
Careful. We don't know the age range of our listeners.
That's true. Every of age. Well, I shouldn't. Every of age female listener. I don't even want to tread any of those other waters over there. But
Sean's not down for the clown.
Not personally.
Yeah.
I am not interested in that. In doing that,
Sean's not all about this any port in a storm situation. Sean's very specific on where he will enter.
If it's are we talking like a storm where you might, like, it might be fatal, like you might not make it through the storm?
Well, yeah, that's the term, any port in a storm.
Yeah, so then it might be like, well, this is a dire situation. You might just have to.
Yeah, I get along with. If I don't have sex right now, I will die.
Well, no, it's more like, oh, these are my last moments alive. If I want to partake in anything, I better do it now. So I might
things like maybe something you haven't tried yet.
Yeah, give things a try.
Like a dude.
Yeah, give a dude a try.
That's when you'll give a guy a try. Is
give a guy a try
just prior to death.
That sounds like I'm like letting the guy try something and see if he does well. Yeah, I'll give him a try. Let him try. Sorry.
Well, let him try. Yeah, maybe they are, maybe they're exploring their sexuality and, they're not necessarily on their deathbed like you are, but
they're in this. No, they're in the same storm.
Hey, you know what? Well, okay, so they're in the same storm. And they're like, look, I have never tried sex with a dude. We're both in the same storm right now. Would you be willing to have sex with me? At that point, would you, you know what? I'm about to die. If I hate it, at least I don't have to live long with the thought. Then will you take a cock?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Who else would I be talking to? The listeners?
Because we don't talk to each other. I'll let the cock try.
I'm saying, would you?
Would I?
Because you're saying the any port in a storm thing. You're like trying something new. You're about to die.
I don't know.
You've never tried it before. What if I like it? And then
not that. Not even that. Because then you're like, oh man, I could have been enjoying this my whole time alive.
Yeah. Then you die unhappy either way.
I think it's just more like, what if you die in the middle of it? Then that's how you're found, and you're like, well, I mean, no one will think anything of it. But
if you both die at the same time during,
I think you're missing the scenario here.
This is a really bad storm.
It's an actual storm where you're worried about dying, like it's a tornado or something. Like you're both. If you're
why are you worried about a tornado in the ocean? It's any port. You're going to a port.
What do you mean? Am I worried? Why am I worried about a storm in the ocean?
I said a tornado in the ocean. Why are you worried about a tornado in the ocean?
A storm, then. How many shipwrecks have there been as a result of storms? You think storms aren't a problem out in the ocean?
Okay, but you specifically said tornado.
Fine, a cyclone. Okay, a hurricane. Okay,
that's more acceptable.
A thunderstorm.
Talking about squalls, some light, big, huge,
some light flurries.
Yeah, we're talking about the perfect storm right here, starring Mark Wahlberg and George Clooney, I believe.
Sure,
and they were doing it in that movie on that boat. They're like, "Hey, we're about to die. We need to try this because we're worried about never having had." Sex with a man prior to death.
He put his port in his stern.
Just like this is on the bucket list and stern of the boat.
Yeah. What's the front of the boat? There's port and starboard are left and right, and then the stern is back, but the front is
stern.
What's the aft? Is it the front? Is that the aft?
Maybe.
All right, sides. Oops.
As you can tell, Sean and I are not sailors.
We're not
Therefore,
semen.
We've never gotten stuck in a storm to have sex with each other yet.
Correct.
Yet.
That's not... the bow.
The bow.
What does aft mean then?
Aft is...
What does aft mean? At, near, or toward the stern of a ship or tail of an aircraft.
So the aft of the ship is
so it's like
near the end. It's not the...
Well, here's the thing. Listen to it.
It's not stern. It's near the stern.
At, near, or toward the stern. If you're at the stern, you can also say you're... Like maybe you'd say you're aft of the boat? I
don't know.
That's weird.
So now if I tell somebody, I can tell somebody to kiss my aft, and that would just be near your
stern.
Near my hole.
Yeah, quite near your stern.
Is it near my hole?
Near your hole, your porthole. Quite near your what's the other thing that we said was the whole backside that you had a something hole? I can't remember already.
The doozy.
The doozy. Was that it? Yeah, the doozy hole. Mm-hmm. No. Was it?
The doozy, the twozy.
The oozy, the floozy. That does all of it. Right?
Yeah.
The floozy takes part in the oopsie, the onesie, twosie, doozy. Yeah, the can koozie. That's another one. Keeps your dick cold.
Or warm.
Yeah, depending on what's inside of it. What liquid,
depending on where it's at before you put it in the koozie.
No, it's more like, if it's, you're going to have some sex with a living person, then it keeps you warm. If you're going to have sex with a dead person, then it keeps it cold.
But you would have to make it that temperature before putting it in the koozie. To keep it whatever temperature you want it to be prior to going into the koozie. Yeah,
you're in the morgue. This is what people do when they have sex with people in the morgue.
And you want your dick to stay cold prior to having sex with a person in the morgue, or you want it to be warm?
It's the dead person's dick you want to keep cold. So you put it in the koozie. Or if you're having sex with a lizard, then the lizard's dick has to stay cold, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah. That's when you would want the koozie. The koozie act would be to keep it cold. Although both the dick and what the dick goes into would have to be cold to keep it cold, right? So if you're making two dead bodies have sex with each other, that's called a cold koozie.
It's called puppeteering.
Jim Henson did it famously.
Yeah.
That's what he's known for.
So if you're having two dead bodies have sex with each other.
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
This is, sometimes I wonder why we're not more famous than we are.
Do you really?
And it's remarks like that. It's remarks like, if you're having two dead people have sex with each other.
Look, you can't say that they didn't say... Well, you can't say that they said no to it. Look, it was signed off on by the families, by the surviving members of each
line of consent, right? That's where consent dies. Is when you die, right?
Too soon.
It's. I would still say that's desecration of a corpse.
What if it's in their will?
Like if they put in their will, please, once I'm dead, let me have sex with another dead corpse that also has written in their will that that's what they want.
Exactly. Okay, look at this.
Who's getting the pleasure out of this?
Hold on. First of all, let's not shame
There's going to be no Uzi.
Let's not shame anybody. You could work it out. So let's say you're a married couple and you both write
all the time.
Yeah, that's it's not hard, ladies, not for me. But let's say you're a married couple and you're like, you know what? I don't want the end of my life on this earth to be the end of my sex life. So let us both write in our wills that we want someone to facilitate the two of us continuing to fornicate after we have both passed.
So what if one dies many years before the other?
They have to just
keep them on ice.
Yeah. Well, they have to do that anyway. If you're going to ask someone
but not for years.
Why not? Who knows how long this is written in their will for? Like, let's say I want this to continue on for the next 30 years after I pass away. Come on, grandchildren, make this happen for Grandpa.
You're gonna be so freezer burnt.
You can
I can't keep a frozen pizza in my fridge or my freezer for more than a couple months before it gets freezer burnt.
Before it turns you on and you decide to fold it in half and oozy onto it.
No, I'll buy a calzone.
Then, I'll
have to put my dick in a koozie.
That's how. Yeah, well, of course, you don't want to have direct contact with a hot calzone, or do you? Yeah,
because I'll accidentally thaw it out.
Yeah,
because I am hot down there.
I've heard. I've used a thermal imaging camera to prove that.
It's weird. Like the rest of me is. It's like the rest of me is all blue.
Yeah,
you have infrared camera, and then just my crotch, just the penis though, like not the whole crotch area. It's literally just you can see exactly what my penis looks like in an infrared camera because that's the only thing on me that holds any heat.
It gives off infrared light?
No, on an infrared camera that senses heat.
Infrared
or whatever those FLIR camera, whatever those fucking things are called.
So
a thermal imaging camera. There we go.
That's it. Not infrared. Anyway,
that's like night vision cameras. Isn't it infrared? No, what does that do? That sense heat.
But so they had to invent for you. They had to invent the penile thermometer, which is the only thing you can use to check your temperature to see if you have a fever or anything like that.
Has to go in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
under the tongue.
Internal of my penis.
Yeah, yeah. So. What's your baseline,
ladies?
What's your base temperature then? If all
of
the
my
heat
body or
of your penis? Like if all the body heat is there, is it warmer or is it just 98.6 and the rest is like, just above freezing?
It's 97.6.
Okay, good to know. I know it can vary.
That's actually the more accurate average body temperature.
Okay.
They've been lying to us for years.
I suppose
the rest of me is a balmy 40 degrees.
These are probably the same people that declared Pluto not a planet anymore. They're like, we have to take what is known and just disrupt it.
Real and yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard.
The Earth is round.
Golly. in one of the dimensions, or in two of the dimensions, it's round, but not that third one.
Yeah. Third one, it's just if you look at the Earth in the exact right angle, you can't see it. It just disappears. That's how thin it is. It's how flat it is.
Yeah. Now would that couldn't be a right angle?
God, I haven't been writing anything down.
Yes. Well,
where were we?
I have something. Well, I want to derail
go ahead.
off of this for a couple things. We can get back to it though. I have a special announcement to make. Two special announcements. The first one is, as of 6 minutes ago, at the time of the recording, not at the time of its release, episode 174, the video version, is live on YouTube.
Finally.
My God. Now
it was a bear.
Well, hold on. It was more work than the others, but a lot of it also had to do with my just not wanting to take it on. It wasn't as daunting as it. I could have gotten this done weeks ago.
Some of it was
burnout, and some of it was the extra work.
Procrastination.
Yeah, exactly. So it is there. And now, like we're hoping, as we mentioned last week, I hope it'll just be some smooth sailing on cranking out back to the sex stuff.
And the
rest of them.
Here's the thing, people. If you are an avid listener to the show, you've obviously already possibly heard episode 174 at this point. Please, for the love of God and for Sean's sanity, please go check out the YouTube version of it. He put a lot of work into it.
If this one doesn't get any views, I'll be pretty pissed.
If you remember, that's the episode where we did a bunch of skits about the 20s style gangsters, or the 1920s style gangsters, and 1920s style gangsters clothing. We did a bunch of those skits. Sean did a bunch of editing to make those much more entertaining to watch than just seeing us read those out. So please go check it out. If anything, if you don't want to listen to the whole thing again, please just go check out the skits part of it at least. And then leave a comment and let Sean know that you came here for the skits.
Yeah.
And nothing more.
And stayed for the onesie twosie. The onesie twosie oozy.
The onesie twosie, oozy in your doozy.
Buy a floozy. The other announcement, which is exciting to me, maybe I'm not sure how Matt will feel about it, is that we, as of a few days ago, finally got a Vermont download.
Holy shit. Sean's hard work has paid off.
But
they must have heard about that episode where he talked about Vermont for like 40 minutes.
That would have made sense. But it was it was episode 184, Big Johnson and Johnson, that got the download. It wasn't the one where we talked about Vermont.
That's fine. It didn't have to be that episode. Somebody heard it and told their friend in Vermont.
And told Vermont,
hey, you got to check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, told the state of Vermont, you got to listen to this.
They wrote to the governor of Vermont and said, please tell all of your constituents.
Vermont's Chamber of Commerce got a letter, a handwritten letter.
Yeah. With a quill. With a quill. Yeah. Flown in with a bird. We have now covered all 50 states. And
we are in all 50 states, people.
I think we should stop here.
We did it. We're done.
Yeah. There's no higher mountain to climb.
We finished podcasting. We've done it.
Yeah.
We finished it.
We've achieved what so few podcasters have achieved in a short number of years that I can't recall.
We've conquered the United States. You know how many places in this world have tried to do that and failed?
We're better than Germany. We're better than Germany.
We're better than Germany. We're better than Japan. Japan really tried.
I mean, way better.
they didn't get past freaking Hawaii.
They didn't get past that tiny little island.
Furthest away from the continent you can get and still be in the States.
How could you not get past that tiny little wimpy island? I know it's a couple of islands. All right.
Yeah, they didn't get past the harbor, Sean. They didn't even get deep into the island. They hit the harbor and stopped. They hit the harbor.
They hit it hard. They didn't even like get to all the touristy spots.
Yeah.
The harbor? There's nothing interesting there.
Yeah, just Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett.
Wow, yeah, that's right. He is the other one in that movie.
Yeah. Minnesota's own Josh Hartnett.
Where has he been, I wonder?
Pearl Harbor.
Well, I don't know if they actually shot there.
Lately?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. He did some movie where like there was like terrorists in like a fucking stadium or some shit recently.
Oh, okay.
I saw a commercial for it.
It's called Overtime.
I don't remember. I don't know what it's called. So Sean, yesterday, a very important notification came up on my phone that I had put in my phone on a previous episode. June 8th, yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Is National Best Friends Day.
Hey, look at that.
And I specifically put National Best Friends Day - don't call Sean.
Yeah.
Because I specifically said I was going to put it in my phone and make sure I didn't call you on that day.
That's right.
I don't remember why. I just remember doing that.
I think we probably got into how like one of us thought we were best friends, but the other one didn't think so. And so there was a whole thing. It was probably very...
If anybody remembers, put it in the comments.
If you're from Vermont and you remember that part, just let us know. In the
Go
comments.
Back and listen to the episode that was part of.
I don't
just
remember.
Go through them all to let us know.
Well, yeah,
Vermont.
It would have been the. I'm looking at you, Vermont, the only state who's shaped like its first initial. I would imagine must have been the time when we were rattling off holidays, and I
don't think it was that long ago. It was somewhere within the last year because I specifically put it in. I've only had it in for 1 year so far. So far.
And we weren't doing holidays last year. That was the year before, I think.
We did holidays a while ago.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's bizarre. Did I call you yesterday?
Nope.
Yes, I did.
No, you called me yesterday. But on a completely different topic.
Right. No, I didn't mean because of that. But I was trying to remember I was trying to remember if we talked at all yesterday, and we did. And I suppose good on you for not mentioning.
To be honest, at that point in time, I completely forgot.
Yeah.
I just remembered now for some reason.
Well,
I read a really totally different subject.
Lots of stuff going on in June. Lots of stuff.
Really weird fact. I read a really weird fact on, Facebook has like weird little like
Facebook's Ken has cheeseburger.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's old school meme.
That's right.
It has every once in a while you're scrolling through your feed and then like just an ad for like, oh, check out what these celebrities look like now, or here's some weird, crazy facts. And I'll click on them every once in a while and just kind of read through them. To broaden my knowledge of the world, and it's what makes me smarter and stronger, and that's just how we took over America. And I read a really weird fact of like it's so weird. Your belly button just used to be your mouth.
Yes.
And I'm just like, why is that so gross to think about? Your belly button is your former mouth.
Why can't it still be?
That would be really weird if you go to a restaurant and everybody's just lifting up their shirts and sticking food in their bellies.
You know what?
It's a more direct route.
You could have, uninterrupted conversations at dinner time then. There'd be none of this, like, you say something to me and I happen to have just taken a bite. I'm like, oh, excuse me. And I have to finish chewing. And then I'm like.
Or inevitably, every time the waiter comes to you right as you've taken a bite.
They do
and asks you how the meal is going.
They
know.
They wait for you to take a bite and then they walk up.
100%. That's an actual tactic.
Rookie move.
It's an
rookie
actual
moves.
Tactic so that you won't have anything to actually say or complain about. They'll just be like, hey, is everything good? And you're just like, and they're like, thanks. And they walk off before you get a chance to say anything so that they don't have to give you any more service.
I know.
Yeah. They work for those tips.
Oh, sure. They earned them.
Also, can we get away from tips? Can people just get paid a wage in which they don't need tips? We're like one of the only countries that does it.
That would have to start with everyone just not tipping anymore forever. And
no, it would have to start with the people, like the companies actually just giving their employees a livable wage.
No, but that won't happen.
Tips so bad, so they don't have to pay. Exactly, they don't have to pay their employees. Us not tipping them doesn't change anything. It just means these people can't afford to have these jobs.
What I think would happen is if people stop tipping them,
right?
They can't afford to just work there, so they quit and work somewhere else, and then no one can be hired as a server anymore. No restaurants would be able to hire servers anymore. They'd be forced to raise up the wage so that they could actually get people that would want to get those jobs. But as long as we're in the model we can't wait for the restaurant industry to raise the base wage of the servers so that tipping wouldn't be as something that they rely on so heavily. Right. Because clearly, if they're going to be able to spend less money on their staff, they're going to continue to do so because that's just going to reduce their overhead.
Yeah. It's the same as how we'll never get universal health care in the United States.
Yeah, exactly. I've said we live too comfortable. The majority of people in this country live too comfortably for there to be any sort of radical change or any movement toward any radical change in high volume, because we're too busy saying, "Hey, have you seen Ozark?"
I have not,
which I haven't either. No, but
yeah,
that's what we talk about. Have you seen the latest whatever that's on? Whoa, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. Now my focus is just consuming all this media that everyone says I have to consume because it's so good. That's what we do now.
Or we'll just, the other thing we do is just complain about the situation that this country's in, but we don't actually do anything to, make change.
Because we're not living desperately enough to force that.
Exactly. We're not in a situation where we feel like we have to try to overthrow the government because they're corrupt and killing people. But that's what our government does too.
Right. But so we're just not. We have too much that we're not willing to lose.
We're very complacent
for the sake of a radical change. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that every single political election still gets boiled down to these two different parties. These are the only two types of ideologies you can have in order to hold public office for some reason.
And they're both garbage.
They're both garbage. Time. And they always say if you vote for a third party, you're throwing your vote away, or you're voting for the other side, one of the other two.
But if enough fucking people did it, it's not a waste.
Right.
The problem is that I honestly feel like most of the time a vote for a third party is it's more so taking away a vote from a Democratic candidate, not a Republican candidate, because the Republican candidates are always going to Republican people are always going to vote for the Republican candidate every fucking time.
Yeah.
So if you're on the fence of like, I don't know, but I like this third party guy. It's like, yeah, but the third party guy is not going to win unless everybody from the fucking Democratic side votes for that fucking third party person, because the Republicans will always take it otherwise then.
Yeah.
It's a fucking mess. And it's like this time around we just always have the worst two fucking people to choose from.
That's
like, God, we're picking a guy that's I don't think is going to make it 4 more years.
Against a recently convicted felon. A recently convicted felon. Yeah.
Who could still fucking win and still be our fucking president as a felon. Yep. He could go to fucking jail and still be our fucking president. And that is fucking frightening and infuriating.
I was trying to figure this out the other day.
We don't talk politics.
No, but I was trying to figure this out the other day. So he's already served 1 term and did not get reelected. If he gets elected again, is he limited to 1 term? Or can he do 2?
I believe he would still be limited to just 1 more term, because I think it doesn't have to be consecutive, because I believe there's other presidents that have done that as well, that have done 2 non-consecutive terms.
Yeah, I think so. Well,
I mean, to quote Get Out, I'd have voted for Obama for a 3rd term if I could have.
I haven't seen that movie, so I will say, to quote Get Out.
It's a great movie.
Get Out. I'm sure it's
To be honest, I don't know if they've said that if they say that in the movie at all. They probably do. I can't remember. It's been a while. It's a good movie.
I would say it would make sense if they didn't say that directly.
Yeah.
It's the funny thing is, what I sort of looked up for this, how this episode opened was completely in line with what I was going to talk about, which is
let's do it, because I don't want to talk politics anymore.
I was going to go over, there's this thing that's 47 terms that describe sexual attraction, behavior, and orientation.
Let's do it.
And we jumped right into weird talks about onesie, twosie, oozy, and the koozie with a floozy, or whatever the hell we got into.
Yeah.
This is some of this, we're not going to get to all of it probably. But I think I want to skim through and maybe pick pick out stuff that maybe I don't really know what it means, and maybe see if you know what it means.
I'm afraid to think that I possibly just know all these terms because I'm a very depraved individual.
Well, in the last couple of years, I've heard a lot of newer, new to me, newer terms and kind of what they are. But this list has a bunch of stuff I've never seen before. Yeah. So let's just start off.
Just learned fleek.
What's that?
I said Sean just learned fleek.
Yeah, the sexual fleek.
No. Ew, that sounds gross.
That's when you come in someone's eyebrows. So the first one on this list is
I just came up with
okay. With something better.
Coming on somebody's eyebrows is fucking hilarious for a sexual fleek. No, I just thought of a term called twokkake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Instead of bukkake.
So you just
explain it.
You just poop on somebody's face.
Oh. Well, what's bukkake?
Do you not know what bukkake is?
I've heard of that. I've heard of it, but what is it specifically? Is it just
bukkake is
somewhere else?
When
someone else?
When multiple people, multiple men, will ejaculate all over a single woman's face.
Oh,
covering it in just a sheen of
a mask, if you will,
a mask of ejaculate.
It's like one of those night masks or whatever.
A facial.
Sure. Yeah. No, I was.
She's not giving it to herself.
I guess I had heard that term before, but I never knew exactly what it meant. It wasn't that I was. I would never inquired about it, I guess, to know.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you said, when you say twokkake, I know what that means. But does that mean it's multiple people doing it, or it doesn't have to be?
Multiple poops.
Gotcha.
On one face.
On one face. So let's just do the first one, which is just called
one face, multiple poops.
That's what you want me to type. So the first one on this list is called allosexual. Or
is that somebody who has sex with aloe plants?
Well, it's ALLO and then sexual. So I don't think that's how you spell aloe from the plant.
Allosexual?
It might be allosexual.
They're sexually aroused by all things. By all types of people.
Let's find out. You might be close. A word and category describing those who experience sexual attraction. Use of this term helps normalize the experience of people on the asexual spectrum and provides a more specific label to describe those who aren't part of the asexual community. So I guess it's the antithesis of being asexual. You are sexually aroused by something.
So, because asexual is just no sexual arousal, right?
I believe so. Let me just confirm it.
So allosexual is just like
everything else.
Most people.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say all other people, because there's other types of sexual arousal or desire, but
so asexual,
I'd say a good majority of people would be allosexual then.
Yeah. So asexual says someone who experiences little or no sexual attraction to others of any gender. So
okay.
Not zero, but
right.
Including zero, but not limited to zero. I'm not sure where.
If I were to be attracted to somebody,
in that regard, I wonder where the threshold is. Like, what's little versus, above little, like little attraction. Where's the line? I guess in that one.
Maybe just being like, oh, that person's good looking, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Like maybe at least
maybe there's a little movement. You feel a little movement.
Understand a little movement. Yeah. Understanding
why someone might be sexually attracted to someone.
Like, oh, that person is I could see why that person would be sexually attractive, or I could see that yes, that person is an attractive person. but still not even necessarily be attracted to them personally, but you can maybe, I don't know. I'm
just throwing
things out here.
If you're someone who is heterosexual, right? Could you consider yourself homosexually asexual? Like if you can look at a man and go, I can see why this man is considered to be attractive, but you have no attraction toward them. Could you declare that of yourself?
I guess so. I guess that would be taking a broad term and narrowing it down to a specific thing that you're specifically not attracted to say I am homosexually asexual. Like I am little to no sexual attraction towards people of the same sex as me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would be taking a broad term of asexual and just narrowing it down to one piece of your sexual attraction and desires.
I think one thing that we've sort of discovered or maybe become more aware of, and not we just as in you and I, but I think the royal we, that's another sexual move, have learned that there's many different little like subcategories of different interests, and that's what this list is. I was hoping we would.
I remember growing up and how simple it all seemed.
Yeah,
and now as like a 41-year-old man, over these last couple of years. Not that I was 41 for the last couple of years, but
all right,
I'm 41 now. And over the last couple of years, getting to this age, discovering that there is a million different options out there. It's like, I don't know. It's like customizing a car. It's so many options.
Maybe that's what we need for politics.
Like picking floor tiles.
We need that for politics.
More options.
Why is it just one or the other?
We've pigeonholed ourselves at this point.
We have, which is another sexual move.
Anything can be a sexual move, just like how any toy can be a sex toy. It's all about location.
It's all about location, and I don't know. That's about it. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
We got one.
So this is a stem off of that first one. It's called allosexism. This refers to norms, stereotypes, and practices in society that operate under the assumption that all human beings experience or should experience sexual attraction. That makes sense. All right, let's find another bizarre one. I want to get off of, I don't want to just do all the A's. So let's go down to...
Makes one of us.
Right? What? Hey, if you're in a rough enough storm. Okay, so this one's called, this might be able to be figured out. It's called biromantic.
Okay.
You want to take a stab at it?
So she said.
Want to take a stab at the B?
Biromantic?
Biromantic.
Well, I would assume that has something to do with bisexuality. But like, but like you're like romantic about it, so you're not just like, it's not just about the sex. It's about like romancing both a man and a woman.
So close. People who experience romantic attraction but not sexual attraction to people of more than one gender. So it's not that it's not just about the sex. It's not about the sex at all.
It's not about sex at all.
Yeah.
Interesting. That sounds boring.
I wonder if well, maybe you experience sexual attraction towards something else, and that's where you get that that need met, like
okay.
Food,
like, I'm gonna go fuck that cactus.
The least offensive part.
Well, you don't know what I'm into.
I don't. Cacti, apparently, both figuratively and literally. Let's just do one. Let's try to do one from each letter of which there are options. So let's go down to. I mean, all these ones under C are all I'm aware of, except for this one, cupiosexual.
Cupiosexual?
like CUPIO, sexual. Not sure if it's Cupio or Cupio.
Cupio.
Yeah.
Cupio? Is it like a sexual attraction to Cupid? You want to fuck that little baby? That little cherub?
That little archer?
Cherub.
That
little cherub.
Yeah.
It's not a baby. He's thousands of years old.
Yeah.
He's an adult in baby form.
Do you think they call him like when they get aroused
what?
a little cherubby?
You said do you think they come?
No, call them. They call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. All right. A cherubby. I don't know. Somebody might want to give him a little cherubby. Like a rub. Give him rub him.
Oh, I see. That you're working off of the rub part of the word.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And you're working off of the chair part?
Well, a chubby.
Yeah, I got what you were saying.
Cherubby. It's anyway. Look, we're both doing fine. We're both doing fine here. Cupiosexual means describes asexual people who don't experience sexual attraction but still have the desire to engage in sexual behavior or a sexual relationship. So they're like, I'm not attracted to this, but I want to do this because maybe they just want. That's bizarre.
Is it then? Do they?
It's like I want my grass to be cut, but I don't enjoy mowing the lawn.
No, that's not the same thing.
Fine, I want my grass to be cut.
That would be them saying, I don't want my grass to be cut, but I enjoy cutting the lawn.
Maybe that's more it. Or you could flip it and have it be the opposite, which is what I said. But they both work. We're both doing very well.
We're both very tired.
We're both doing very well here.
No, so to me, that seems like then, is that maybe something that person is doing not for themselves, but for their partner?
Well,
maybe they enjoy doing that for their partner, even though they're not getting anything out of it.
That could be. It doesn't specify that exactly, but it does say they have the desire to engage in sexual behavior or a sexual relationship.
But they don't get any desire. Like they don't get anything.
They're not attracted to anything sexually, but maybe it is the
act of sex.
Maybe it is to
the act only.
Well, it could just be that, like you were saying, they just want to satisfy their partner.
If there's somebody that's cupiosexual, please explain it to us, because it's interesting at this point. Like, this is a very judge-free zone. I'm actually more curious.
I am too.
Somebody that is that way for them to kind of explain like what.
I wonder if that's something.
Does for them.
That's something. If we really wanted to, we could probably reach out to those some of those podcast groups and say, hey, is there anyone that's like who's really like fluent in all of these terms? To maybe not necessarily like, oh, are you a cupiosexual person?
Explain what this might do for some. Like, it's interesting.
Explain to us middle-aged cis males what all these things are. I guess I'm assuming you're cis.
I'm sure there's got to be another term that's the opposite of that, of somebody who is super like aroused by sexual acts and everything, but just hates having sex.
I mean, it's exhausting sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, just take it out of me, but don't make me come. Just extract it in any way possible that doesn't involve me having an orgasm, please. For the love of God, I am tired of feeling pleasure. It is your turn. Leave me out of it.
I'm okay.
If you want my cummies, you got to take it yourself without making me come.
Well, that's just
good
like
luck.
That's
this
just
is my
like
version of the Saw movies.
It's just like testicle surgery or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, they're just a needle and extract it or something, probably. Which sounds awful.
One of those little plungery things that you get with
turkey baster. Oh, baby, the baby
like
things for
like children's
yeah, there you go.
Ibuprofen or
Suck
something.
It out with a baby booger sucker thing.
Or that, one of those things. Yeah. I mean, you're already used to having a penile thermometer shoved up there.
Yeah, or we could do a sounding thing. Just stick a straw down my urethra and then suck it out.
Like siphon? You're siphoning it?
Yeah, like siphon it. There you go. Yeah, just once it gets flowing, you're going to get a little bit in your mouth.
I mean, that always happens.
That's par for course.
The mint is for afterwards.
Yeah. That's why I keep mouthwash in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Yep. All
right. Well, that was educational. I don't want to. These are going to be similar again because one's it's a prefix followed by sexual, and the one after that is the same prefix followed by romantic. So,
okay,
I guess would you rather try to go after demisexual or demi-romantic? Unless you know what one of them already is and can figure out the other.
I've heard demisexual a few times, and I feel like I always keep getting it confused with other ones. But I believe demisexual and demi-romantic are kind of similar because I believe demisexual is a person who will only is sexually attracted to somebody on more of an emotional level.
Okay,
is that right?
Close, and I think I know what you're maybe.
Yeah, I get them
mixing
confused.
It up with.
I get it confused a lot.
So a demisexual is someone who only experiences sexual attraction only under specific circumstances, such as after building a romantic or emotional relationship with a person.
Right.
So it never starts off as a sexual attraction. They have to sort of be.
It's fucking exhausting.
So much work.
Like, give me a fucking break. It's right here. Love it.
My eye is down here, ladies.
Stop making me get romantic and emotional with you. Just take my cummies.
You with some sort of extraction tool, please.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. I don't have time for this emotional shit. I have a schedule to keep. I have things to do, ladies.
I've got fairs to go to.
Yeah, hey, that's where I was today.
Yeah. So we'll skip F. The only word in F is fluid. This is interesting.
It's right here. Take my fluid. I don't have time for emotions.
What? Okay, which one do I pick? I'm going to pick. There's
a lot in this section. What, G?
No, in G, there's only
or E. No, we skipped E.
There was no E.
Oh,
there was D and then F, and the only word in F was fluid.
I got E right now.
You said no emotions involved. You don't want it to get emotional.
I'm not talking about emotions, baby.
And extraction. You successfully extracted your cummies.
Yes.
Good for you.
Get my cummies. I put them in a Ziploc for you. I had other containers that were probably more appropriate, but no.
I hope it's at least a freezer bag.
It's double sealed, yeah. It's a double sealed Ziploc.
Gotcha. That's what. Yeah, women always tell me to.
Nothing's leaking out of that.
Women always tell me to double up. So
they can feel it.
I'm going to go with.
Please make it thicker. For fuck's sake.
Oh, that's not what I meant, but you got me with that one. You got me with that one. Let's go. I'm not sure. This might be pronounced gynosexual.
When you're only sexually attracted to a gynecologist. Or it's GYNE sexual. So maybe it is like you get aroused when you go to a visit. For your. Oh, that seems awkward.
Pap smear.
Like you're in for your third time this month. What is going on here?
Oh, the same. I just want to make sure, just triple check. You can't be too careful. I mean, the guy's been doubling up, but we still want to make sure.
I only got 3 weeks out of a month I can actually come here, so
yeah, I got to use them all. Lois, do you have a guess? Is that your guess that you're
that they're sexually attracted?
You're into gynecology visits,
or you're unless it's pronounced differently. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, unless it's like gynosexual or something, or giant. It's not there's no O though.
Oh,
gyne sexual. So it could be
gynosexual,
gynosexual. Anyway, a term used to communicate sexual or romantic attraction to women, females, or femininity. I suppose that's where the gyne part is. Okay. There. This term intentionally includes attraction to those who identify as women, female, or feminine, regardless of biology, anatomy, or the sex assigned at birth.
Okay. I get it then. Because I was like, wait, that's kind of already a thing with like heterosexual or lesbian.
Right. But this must be encompassing.
This is encompassing anybody who appears female or
identifies as such. We're gonna skip. H. We're gonna skip H because it's just heterosexual and homosexual. Those are the only two that are listed for H.
I think there'd be more.
Yeah, I thought there'd be more too. You let me down, H.
Hemisexual, where you're sexually attracted to hemispheres.
Or a hemi engine.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with
or the hemisexual.
This is gonna be interesting. Okay, so for L, we're gonna go with libidoist asexual. So 2 words. It's libidoist asexual.
Okay. You are not sexually attracted to anybody with a libido.
That's going to be maybe.
That'll be rough.
I'm going to guess that you're somehow
right in front of you.
I don't know, but I want to try to I haven't read it yet, but
play.
I just wonder if it's like you're not sexually attracted to anyone, but you have a high libido.
Maybe.
Libidoist just sounds like,
or you're only sexually attracted. Like you have a high libido. Yeah. So you have a high libido for people who have no sexual attraction to asexual people.
Oh,
you are only attracted to people. Yeah.
It's such a frustrating. Oh man, I never get what I want. All right, let's find the real answer. A term used to describe
we're not making fun of anybody fun of anybody who are in these things. We just think these are funny interpretations of what they could possibly mean.
Correct. We like to display. We just hope that everyone can find humor in our ignorance. In some cases.
Oh my God! If they can't by this point, you shouldn't be listening to this show.
Right.
We're looking at you on every topic. We purposely don't look shit up.
I'm looking at you, Vermont.
It's way more entertaining to not know what the hell something is. Vermont.
All right, so I'm going to drive away the one listener we got there. Libidoist asexual, a term used to describe an asexual person who experiences sexual feelings that are satisfied through self-stimulation or masturbation.
Oh, well, that's everybody.
Right. Well, an asexual person who experiences feelings,
I suppose,
they're satisfied that way.
So it's an asexual person who's not, so the person's not sexually attracted to anybody, but they do enjoy making cummies.
It's like
you know I have to do it every time. I have to make it childish in some way.
So far, in one way, you've done that.
Yeah.
You've gone back to that well over and over again. Your well of cummies.
Yeah, well full of cummies.
Yeah. All right. Let's just go on away from that one.
We can't call it that.
No, we can't.
We can't call it that. All right.
Oh, only one under M too.
Let me guess. I'm trying to think of something really
monkey sexual. No.
Oh.
Minisexual.
No. When you're only sexually attracted to people from Minnesota.
Or micro machines. What?
Or I didn't even really small people.
I wasn't thinking Minnesota at all. That's funny.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my head.
Weird.
You're only sexually attracted to Mini Coopers.
I think it means you miss home. Mini Coopers, yeah.
Yeah, minisexual.
Or I keep saying words with
You're
micro
only sexually attracted to Vern Troyer, who played Mini-Me.
Oh, but he's gone
rest in
now.
Peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mini Troyer.
That doesn't change anything.
I'm still jonesing. Monosexual is the word. Monosexual. Mono.
Where you're sexually attracted to monorails.
Mononucleosis. Clearly. Monorails.
You're sexually attracted to people who have the illness of mono.
Yeah, mononucleosis. That's what I said.
Kissing disease.
Yes, that's what I know. I used the full term several times already.
Well, you're smarter than me, obviously. Make me feel mini.
It's called more intelligent.
Minisexual. What is it really?
I just love those gray ducks. A broad sexual orientation category that includes people who experience romantic or sexual attraction to people of one sex or gender. Monosexuality typically includes those who are exclusively heterosexual, gay, or lesbian. So, like, I would probably consider myself monosexual since I'm exclusively heterosexual. It's sort of like taking...
How does heterosexual not already cover that?
Well, it does. They're basically saying that a homosexual could call themselves monosexual and a heterosexual can call themselves monosexual. As long as there's no bisexuality.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary.
It does seem...
I get it, but it seems unnecessary.
It seems like one term that covers anybody that is only attracted to one.
If you had a grouping of people, you had
homosexual
people.
Some heterosexual people could hang out with some homosexual people and go, "Oh, there's a group of monosexuals over there."
Right.
It's both of them encapsulated into one term.
Right.
So it's not. It is a little bit redundant, but it's one term to encompass both heterosexual and homosexual.
It can encompass a lot of people that fall under different sexualities.
I'm finding
one group again.
I find it curious that they didn't say typically includes those who are exclusively heterosexual and homosexual. It says heterosexual, gay, or lesbian.
Yeah, I would consider.
Because the gay or lesbian both fall under homosexuality, right?
Well, yeah, I would say lesbian is also another form of being gay. It's like there isn't
that's what I mean.
Male version of gay. It's just gay.
Right. That's why I was just curious as to why they decided to.
But then again, the term gay is actually even broader than that, because gay falls under like a ton of different things fall under gay, not just lesbian or homosexual men. But there's like a broad stroke of other sexualities that are probably on this list that would still also fall under gay.
Well, then maybe this is mislabeled. Then
I don't know.
Maybe
it just seems unnecessary, but I get it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying maybe they should replace the term gay or lesbian with just homosexual, because if gay can cover a lot of different things, maybe outside of monosexuality, then that shouldn't be on the description. I think there's a lot of different things
I think there's a lot of things that fall under gay that wouldn't also probably still fall under monosexual at that point. Maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to skip N because it's only the anti of something we've already read. It's non-libidoist asexual. That's the only thing under N on this list.
Which Okay, so they are. What the hell would that be then?
Okay, I'll read it.
Yeah,
I'll read it then.
It's already a person who's not sexually attracted to anything but gets themselves off.
This is somebody who's
not sexually attracted to anything and also doesn't get themselves off.
Or they just don't like libidoist asexual people.
I don't know. Just against those specific people.
I don't like those people. No, it's
or they get off on libidoist. Okay. Oh.
They get off on watching a libidoist asexual get off on themselves.
Okay.
That's not really what it is.
No.
I'm just encapsulating what you.
It's the opposite of that.
They get everyone else off on that. Anyway, referring to an identity on the asexuality spectrum, a non-libidoist asexual is someone who doesn't experience any sexual feelings or has an active sex drive. I thought that's what asexual meant.
I thought so too.
They don't experience any sexual feelings.
Okay, so an asexual person might feel sexual feelings.
And I think that wasn't asexual meaning that you could experience some or none.
Yeah.
So this is like none. Why is that not just non-asexual could mean sexual?
Yeah, non-asexual.
See, this is why it's good to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is not always clear and it's or self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Maybe there could be some retooling of these terms to make them
do your research.
A little more obvious for the layman.
It's good for anybody going out there and using a dating app and you see that somebody has their sexuality.
I see some of that
on their thing. And
I see some of that stuff listed, and I'm like, they're like, if you have to ask what this is, then just move on. I've seen that kind of thing before.
And it's like, well, I better look it up. So I don't have to ask. And then you look it up, and you're like, I'm going to move on.
I'm going to move on because I'm not.
Or a lot of times there'll be like a bunch of just like an acronym that you then have to try to look up. Like, all right, what do these initials stand for?
Yeah, I know that too.
Those initials, and then sometimes it just brings up like a company, and you're like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
this company, they work for this company, and then you find out later, like, oh no, it's some crazy sexual shit.
Yeah,
that I didn't know about that I am now into. It's
not a company; it's keeping very specific company.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna skip the pansexual, polysexual part of P, and we're just gonna go on with pomosexual. Pomosexual.
Okay. Well, homosexual means that you're attracted to people of the same sex as you. Pomosexual would be that when you're only attracted to Poe Dameron from Star Wars.
I like that more than what I was going to say.
The only thing I could think of.
I was going to say you only take pleasure in poning homosexuals.
Like they're a bunch of fucking noobs.
Yeah. Not like Poe Dameron.
Yeah. You're fucking, wow, you just came out, noob. I'm going to pwn you.
I'm going to pwn you.
Get me off.
Fresh. All right. A pomosexual. Let's see how off you are with your Star Wars guess.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how off I am with mine.
Just idiot. A term used to refer to people who reject sexuality labels or don't, which the homosexual is a label. Anyway, who rejects, you have to label everything. It's like saying, anyway, a term, okay, people who reject sexuality labels or don't identify with any of them. Homosexual is not necessarily an identity.
Okay. It really pisses them off when you call them homosexuals, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's how I pwn them.
Fucking. Yeah, that's how they get pwned.
That's how they get pwned. All right.
Pwned.
I'm curious about this one, even though it's also under P. And the word itself would tell me to skip it, but I'm not going to skip it. I'm going to fight against the word itself. It's called passing.
Okay.
Any hazard any kind of guess on what passing means?
Passing would be somebody who
takes a sexual hit and then hands it off to the next person.
Yeah. Suck pass.
Yeah.
It would be somebody who maybe isn't female but passes as could pass as a female.
Fabio.
Fabio passes as a female.
I don't know. That's just a long-haired man is the first thing he popped in mind. Anyway,
of all long-haired men, Fabio, the 70-something-year-old former sex symbol of whatever country he's from.
Fine. Wesley Snipes in Tu Wong Fu. How about that?
Well, that would be drag. That's a lot different.
Well, when you're in drag, you're passing, right?
Some.
If you use
some, depending on the type of drag you do, people do very convincing drag, and other people do.
It's very
a more
queenie
campy type drag.
It's very queenie. If you use the left lane properly, you're passing.
Yeah. If you got a kidney stone,
hopefully you're passing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gassy and you're alone,
or you're very, very old,
or you
might be passing.
Or if you're answering the minimum number of correct answers on a test, I should say, giving the minimum correct answers, not.
Yeah.
Anyway. Passing, what it really means in this context, anyway, refers to society's perceptions and assumptions of someone's sexuality or gender. Specifically, this term is most commonly used to discuss the frequency and extent to which an LGBTQIA+ person is perceived as or assumed to be straight or cisgender.
Okay, so it's less about that person is female passing as more of that person is straight passing. It's more of their sexuality, not their
appearance.
This is a sexuality thing, not a gender thing.
Right.
I flipped that. So I get straight passing, gay passing. Yeah.
If there was there's an old skit on SNL. With Dana Carvey, that probably would not fly today.
Most old skits on SNL would not fly today.
It's the word is, I forget, it's in the title. It's like the effeminate whatever. He's basically a married man with children, but he's just very effeminate.
Yep.
And so that person, I guess, would probably be mistaken as, or mislabeled as gay a lot or homosexual a lot, and so I guess you would call that they are passed as they're homosexual or gay.
Yeah, they're passing as they're gay passing.
They're gay passing.
I've met several people in my life that
you would have thought one way or the other.
Assumed 100% that. So specifically, this one man that I had met, and would have sworn up and down this man is homosexual. This is a gay man, 100%. Find out he's got a wife and kids and everything, but he literally just comes off as a very effeminate homosexual man, and it was surprising.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, so be it.
Yeah, so be it. Mm-hmm. And when I've prepared foods that look to be sufficiently seasoned, and therefore, if people would think it is sufficiently seasoned, then that is season passing.
What's next?
All right, quickly. Okay, so for Q, that's going to be limited anyway, just because of the letter Q. But we're going to skip the top one, which is queer, and we're going to go down to questioning. Probably easy to figure out, maybe, but we've shown that we can be very wrong.
I would assume it's somebody who has yet to define their sexual preference. They are still questioning their sexuality.
Yeah, the process of being curious about or exploring some aspect of sexuality or gender that they haven't done so already. They're not like, I know I'm this. They're like, right now I've been feeling like I'm this, but I'm interested in seeing if maybe I
this ship's about to go down in the storm.
So what am I willing to do in my final moments?
I think in the end we're all questioning.
Yeah, I'm found my dead body along with the other person are found like, oh, they died questioning.
Yeah.
How lovely.
Looks like it was quite an aggressive quiz.
And that one failed, clearly.
There is cummies everywhere.
The storm didn't wash it away. All right. I guess we're going to skip there's romantic attraction and then romantic orientation, which I guess is a little less clear than romantic attraction. But as you can imagine, S is pretty jam-packed. It looks like that's the last letter that has anything in it. So let's try sapiosexual. I've heard of this before, or at least I've heard this word before, but I don't know if I've ever known what it means.
Okay. I've also heard this one a bunch of times, and I know I've looked it up before as well. And I also can't remember what it is, and I think
you're
this one is the one.
I think you're sexually attracted to humans.
To sapiens?
To sapiens.
To all types of sapiens?
All types.
Humans aren't the only sapiens.
Really?
I think so. Aren't apes a type of sapien?
I don't know. They're a type of... I don't know. They're a type
Am I stupid?
They're a type of... what's it called? I not a mammal, clearly, but they are mammals, but that's not what I mean. No, well, the primates is another... Mammals. Primate's another level. Are they? I thought for once you get to close to human type, there's Homo sapien, but I thought that the Homo part stayed, but the suffix like sapien is not present in the next order. It's like
maybe I'm stupid.
Like it's Homo something, like Homo sapien, Homo something else, Homo something else. I might be wrong though.
Yeah, maybe that's where I'm lost too. I believe sapien is once you've made it to full on human.
Yeah, Homo neanderthals, and then Homo erectus, Homo habilis. This is really small, and then Australopithecus. So,
all right, never mind. Right. Scratch that.
It's not. Yeah. Anyway, so it could still be you're attracted to humans, Matt. It's still possible that you're attracted to humans, is what I mean.
It is possible.
I'm going to read it. All right. Oh, unless you want to try to throw something out there.
So I've definitely looked it up. I've definitely looked it up before, and I'm not remembering what it was. And I'm thinking this is where I would continuously confuse which one was which with demisexual and sapiosexual.
All right. A word.
They are very different things.
A word used to describe those who experience attraction based on intelligence rather than sex or gender.
Right. I remember now.
That's a little bit of hubris by throwing the sapio part in there and linking that to intelligence, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and it's obvious that nobody would be sapiosexually attracted to me after the comment I made about humans not being the only sapiens.
I mean, that could mean you could be a sapiosexual could be attracted to dolphins or octopi.
Yeah, any smart
other species that are regarded as very intelligent.
Yeah, let me just throw it out there, ladies. If you are sapiosexual, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you should now be questioning and not defined as sapiosexual anymore. You should be now considered a questioning sexuality person, because if you're listening to this podcast, these are not intelligent people.
What do you?
You should not be sexually attracted.
What are you saying here?
As you currently are. I'm saying we're both dumb.
But you started this off on the assumption that any female listening to this is attracted to us, and they should be questioning that after listening to this.
Any sapiosexual woman that's listening to us
was already attracted to us, but they shouldn't
obviously
be. All right,
Sean.
Oh gosh. Whoa,
they're here for the cummies.
This is interesting. Okay, this threw me off at first, but I could probably think of what it might mean. This one I have no idea, so maybe we'll jump onto that one here. Let me just. How about this? For S's, since there's so many, I'll read all the words off, and we can go. Let's. Okay. So we already did sapiosexual. There's sexual attraction. Probably no reason to explore that.
Oh.
There's you must be asexual or non-libidoist. Anyway, sex averse.
I'm a sexual person.
There's sex averse. There's sex favorable.
Okay.
There's sex indifferent.
Which means they just don't care whether or not they have sex.
Could be.
Give or take it, yeah.
Then this one is just going to be a deep explainer, sexual orientation or sexuality. So I don't think we need to. There's sex repulsed.
Oh.
There's scolio. There's scoliosexual. I think that has something to do with the Vikings. There's
something to do with the spine.
Well, maybe we can jump on one of those on that one. So
only one type of fluid they want.
Definitely not attracted to an octopus in that case. Spectrosexual.
Oh, that's just somebody who's attracted to the whole spectrum. Or people that are on the spectrum?
Ooh. Or spectrovision?
Oh.
Or people that wear glasses?
Nice. Ladies.
As you can see, one of us wears corrective lenses. And then the last one is straight.
Strict?
Straight.
Oh, straight. I think you said strict.
I'm strictual. Let's take a look at this scoliosexual.
Yeah.
So your guess was something to do with the spine.
It's either something to do with the spine or something to do with like books, scholastic, like
gotcha.
That kind of.
I think it's someone who's. So I should tell you. I should tell you. It's Skolio.
Oh.
Scholastic is with a C.
Oh, so it's skull fucking.
I didn't say scolio. It's scolio, which again, I'm going to stand by. You're specifically attracted to Vikings fans or Vikings players.
Skull, as in the tobacco, the chewing tobacco skull. It's people who fuck skull tins.
Or just someone who uses that product,
who releases their cummies into a skull tin.
I wouldn't put it. I'm not going to say anything is not possible.
Yeah.
All right. I hope it's skull fucking. A sexual orientation that describes people who are sexually attracted to those with non-cisgender gender identities, such as people who are non-binary, genderqueer, or trans.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the scolio prefix, like what part of that term is applicable, or how what it means to apply to those things. But
is it Latin? Like what the fuck?
I was really hoping it was going to be a Vikings thing.
Well, like the team, the Vikings, or
yes.
like Vikings, the people that existed?
I just know that people yell skull when talking about the Vikings. That's all I know. That's what I was basing it on.
Okay. Now that you've explained it, okay. Because before that, I had no idea why you were saying Vikings the entire time. So
it's funny because I would hear people yell that, and I, for the longest time, thought they were yelling goal.
Right.
I'm like, well,
like
this isn't soccer. I'm like, this isn't soccer, and it also doesn't it doesn't sound quite right. It sounds a little bit off from goal, just a little bit. And then I saw it printed on something, SKOL exclamation point. I'm like, oh, they're yelling skull. What does that mean? To this day, I still don't know. I've never looked it up. I don't know why people yell skull when celebrating the Vikings football team, American football team in the NFL, not the people who pillaged and all that, and may or may not have horns. May or may not have had horns on their helmets. I think there's a debate on whether or not that was true or not. Whether or not that was true. I just added another knot there. I didn't need to. All right. Any other ones we want to look at? Sex repulsed, sex averse.
Well, here, real quick. Skål is a derivative of the Swedish, Danish, Norwegian word skål, spelled SKAL with it's got that little circle accent mark over the A.
Okay.
It is a bowl that fits beverages that was shared between people. Over the years, it evolved to essentially mean cheers.
Okay. A bowl that fits beverages.
Yep.
What a weird way to describe a bowl.
What an interesting way to describe any bowl.
Yeah, no, that bowl's way too small to fit a beverage.
That bowl doesn't fit beverages.
Idiot. It only fits cummies.
Yeah, that's my cummies bowl.
Yeah, so please don't.
My skull bowl.
My skull bowl.
Yeah, don't put cummies in my skull bowl.
No, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's not vice versa. You would just say don't put a beverage in my cummies bowl.
Yeah. Well, no, that is, or vice versa. Yeah, that totally works.
No, if you said don't put cummies in my, what would you say, in your skull bowl?
Don't put cummies in my skull bowl.
So the vice versa would be don't put the skull bowl in my cummies.
True. Also, don't do that.
All right. The funny thing is,
an avoidable mess.
The first time I saw this sex averse, it's just sex -averse. I was thinking like the sex averse.
Nice.
But that would be IVERSE.
Right. Damn.
Because I thought there'd be like, the whole entire encompassing all types of, sexuality.
Yeah, somebody that's just like, I will fuck everything.
Yeah. Water bears. If you find ice on Europa, I will melt.
You're talking about
I will melt that ice.
Having sex with planets.
Like stuff in the other parts of the universe.
I was thinking of like when you think of like a multiverse situation, like in Marvel.
Oh, okay.
So just encompassing all sexualities into one.
Like I will have sex. I'm willing to have sex with an alternate universe version of myself.
Yeah, but I was more so thinking it just encompasses all sexualities. It's a one sexual, It's sexiverse.
It's okay. Well, should we find out
all sexualities?
I mean, to be averse to something.
Yeah, is to not. So maybe they're just they want to avoid sex.
It's like you're again it. Let's find out what it means. Sex averse describes those who are on the asexual spectrum and are averse to or extremely disinterested in sex or sexual behavior.
So a non-libido asexual.
Asexual.
Non-libido is asexual.
Seems to be like those could be interchangeable.
Yeah, but this person's more extreme about it.
They're extremely disinterested.
Absolutely not. Get your sexuality away from me.
How is there a difference between why wouldn't it just say like completely disinterested? Like extremely seems like if you try to
Yeah,
if you try to engage, I will harm you.
Yeah, this seems like a person who is going to like go to like a sex club and just start shooting.
Yeah, this is like I'm going to be taking down those who partake in sexual activity.
Right.
I'm not
it's like a sex villain.
Any type of church.
You're not any type of church?
No.
I would agree. You're a person.
It's a weird statement, but I said it.
You sure did. This did become the sex ed version of our podcast.
It did.
That I made the joke about at the beginning, and then
it was when you started just going on about that, I'm like, this is so perfect.
Somehow that happens. Every once in a while, we just fall into the right path.
Fall into the right orifice. Fall into the right hole.
The right orientation.
Yeah. The right number of times. Cummies. So, I think we should go back up to letter C, because I think I saw one here under C. It was called See You Next Tuesday.
Boy, oh boy, that was good. You're good.
Thanks. Bye.
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 If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, or Instagram at hsfamouspod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
To be warm.
It's the dead person's dick you want to keep cold.
Like a rub him.